Animal rescue teams see the worst of animal abuse cases. They see the most gruesome, disgusting, and heinous acts committed against animals. But when a severely matted dog was brought into the Nebraska Humane Society, they weren't sure what to make of her. After Ellie May's owner passed away, people came to clean out the house. They didn't even know that a dog lived in the residence. When they found the gray matted creature that would turn out to be the Shih Tzu mix, they couldn't even tell which end was which. The staff didn't know what she was, or that she was even a living animal until her head moved. She was very uncomfortable. They immediately got to work preparing anesthesia. Her fur was so matted they knew they'd have to put her under to remove it, but it was difficult to even gauge how much she weighed due to the extra pounds of smelly fur. As the vets carefully cut away the nasty hair, she expressed concern about the blood flow to Ellie's legs. She had previous experience with a dog with fur matted so badly that they'd had to partially amputate the legs. Thankfully, Ellie's legs still appeared pink and healthy. Her toenails, however, looked like something out of a circus sideshow. Years without a trim had left them over 7 long and cocooned in hair, feces, and dirt. The staff worked for more than an hour to remove Ellie's overgrown pelt. They couldn't believe when they finished and weighed the mat. 9 pounds all by itself. Poor little Ellie only weighed 11 pounds, so she was carrying around almost twice her body weight in dirty fur. They also found an infected foot. Once Ellie woke up from the anesthesia and began to recover, the staff was thrilled to see some positive signs in the little dog. Although she was unsteady on her feet, after years of not walking properly, she was still able to move around and even begin to show off her sweet temperament. 2 weeks after her rescue, Ellie was stronger and so much happier. Thanks to the animal rescuers that saved her life, Ellie gets a second chance to be the clean, careful companion she was meant to be. Ellie May loves to explore and greets everyone with a sweet face and a happy demeanor. You wouldn't know if she was the same dog as before. In a perfect world, there would be no need for animal rescue workers like these, but in the real world, we couldn't be happier knowing that there are dedicated people out there who are willing to do this important work. Ellie May is living proof that rescue dogs still have so much love to give. All we have to do is clear away whatever's holding them back and let their inner beauty shine.
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
Heidi. It is always tough relatives to watch an older person rapidly deteriorate right in front of their eyes. It is particularly hard for these elderly people to take care of their fur babies on top of having to maintain their autonomy. Paul Russell from Pennsylvania, USA, helped his 82-year-old relative move to a nursing home. The move came when it became clear that the man who suffered from Alzheimer's didn't have enough wherewithal left to take care of himself. The decision was a tough one to make, though it had to be made as with his condition deteriorating. The old man required constant medical assistance and could not be relied upon to take care of himself. This meant that he could not be left alone in his home, especially since his condition had worsened to the point where he couldn't even recognize his own relatives. Once the old man had moved to the facility, Paul happened to recall Siam, the old man's pet, Siamese cat. Since Paul did not have any place to take the cat to, he decided it was best to leave some food out for it until a suitable living arrangement could be made. When Paul decided to go feed Siam, another relative recalled that the man may have also had another cat. This prompted Paul to go around the house to see if he could find a second cat there as well. However, what he discovered shocked him to his core. When Paul got to his relative's house, he ensured that everything was organized before he went looking for Siam. Once he found the cat, he put some food out for it and made certain that it would be safe and well in the house. Suddenly, he saw a large thing zoom across the floor in front of him. It shot out from under a bed and went into the cellar somewhere out of sight. He was not alarmed as one of the relatives had already informed him about a second cat being there. However, try as he might, he was not able to catch it, even though he caught a brief glimpse of the second cat. He got enough of a look to ascertain that the cat seemed like it was caught in a large blanket-like object. As it was getting late, Paul decided to return the following day with extra food for the second cat in a bid to catch it. Paul went back to the house the next day and intended to find and catch the second cat. He took a torch and quietly crept down the cellar stairs. It felt like a scene out of a haunted movie, especially since he had no idea what was waiting for him downstairs. When he entered into the dark and eerie cellar, he encountered a blob-like thing curled up in the corner. Once his eyes adjusted and he could make out that the object was a cat, Paul was shocked to discover the state the cat was in. It looked like it was hurting and seemed very afraid. The cat appeared to be more like a tortoise-shell cat, and what he had thought to be a blanket the day before was in reality the cat's fur, which had matted and stuck to it. The condition the cat was in was appalling, and its matted fur made it impossible for it to move around freely. This scared cat seemed quite big, and the matted dreadlock fur growing on it was more than 8 inches long. What made matters even worse was that the 20 centimeters of the tangled matted mess also contained excrement. The cat kept hiding under beds and in weird corners, which prompted Paul to name it Heidi. Paul and his wife Jill saw that it was clear that Heidi looked like she was scared, traumatized, and in quite a bit of pain. After making Heidi comfortable around them and gaining her trust a bit, they took both the cats to the vets for a checkup. Sam and Heidi were both checked by the vets, and it was determined that Sam was 17 years old, while Heidi was 14. The vets seemed quite concerned about Heidi. The vets at the shelter were appalled by Heidi's condition. In fact, the staff decided to look up animals in similar conditions to try to find out what to do about Heidi, as they had never encountered such a case before. However, despite their efforts, it seemed that nothing extreme like Heidi's case existed anywhere else, not documented at least. The vets knew that Heidi's fur had to go as the knots and tangles in it were causing her pain. Now, the actual challenge was how to go about getting rid of her fur without Heidi getting hurt, and this is where the team got creative. The vets and their team at the shelter put Heidi under general anesthesia so that they could safely get rid of all her matted and dirty fur. The state of her fur was so bad that it took hours for them to be able to shave it off. Once all the fur was removed, the vets weighed it and to their horror discovered that it came up to be about 2 pounds. The weight of her fur was on top of the extra weight Heidi was lugging around being an overweight feline. Her weight coupled with her fur was one of the reasons why she was unwell and could not move around properly. What perplexed the vet was why Heidi's condition was so bad and unkempt. While Sam was in a fairly good condition, the vets couldn't determine for certain, but according to them, the condition of Heidi's fur was directly connected with her weight. Cats are known to keep their fur clean and tidy by daily self-grooming sessions. This requires a lot of flexible maneuvering for them to be able to reach all the hard-to-reach places. If a cat gains a lot of weight, grooming becomes tougher as movement becomes stilted. Cats also shed hair on a daily basis. Heidi's fur was matted, so it ended up trapping most of the hair that she shed, creating the matted long dreadlock condition Paul discovered her in. But this was not the only reason behind Heidi's poor condition. When it comes to long-haired felines, self-grooming is not enough, and the owners must also brush them regularly to get all the loose hair out and keep the fur groomed. Heidi's old owner had Alzheimer's and most probably could not take care of her properly, which is why she was not brushed regularly. Heidi's owner was in such an advanced stage of Alzheimer's that on days he did not know what his name was and could not even recognize his own family. It is very likely that he forgot about the existence of Heidi completely, which caused Heidi's neglected and bad condition, both physically and psychologically. Jill and Paul not only took Sam and Heidi to the shelter for vaccinations and treatment, but also decided to truly rescue them by adopting them and bringing them to their home. What made it even more special was that the couple already had 5 fur babies in their home, 2 dogs, and 3 cats. Sam took to the household fairly quickly, while Heidi was more of a slow learning curve. She did not warm up to the Russells much in the beginning. Heidi didn't even like being touched by people. Slowly, as she grew used to the new house and people, she started trusting the people around her, which made the Russells' job that much easier. The Russells got Heidi her own bed, which she loved. As Heidi got more comfortable, she started playing with the animals and people in the house. Soon, Heidi's story went viral, causing ripples of anger and indignation across the globe. After reading Heidi's whole story, people concluded this was more likely to be related to elderly neglect than animal neglect. I hope you like this video. Please share it and subscribe to our channel. Also press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.